All right, last but not least, or maybe last and least, we'll see. Greg Roman of the Ravens. Never a sexy thing to talk about. Although,
Yeah.
with the, change at quarterback, possibly a little sexier than usual. Sexier than Joe Flacco is a low bar.
It's
So,
very, very strange. Yeah, very low
I'm just
bar.
going to come out and say it. They're sexier this year than they were last year. Greg Roman, does he make this offense sexier or not?
In a way, yes. He makes certain parts of the offense way sexier. And
He's
he makes
like a pair of nice fitting jeans.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly right. He could laser in on that one area, and the legs make sense to zoom in on for Greg Roman because it's all about the run game with this guy. So well chosen there. The nice
Thank
pair
you.
of jeans. He's a great pair of jeans because the rest of this offense is probably going to be hideous, but the running game should be monstrous. And that's kind of perfect for how this team is built with Lamar Jackson, the dual threat, one of the more dynamic runners we've ever seen at the QB position. Greg Roman has had some success with Colin Kaepernick and Tyrod Taylor, the only other quarterbacks he's had as his coordinator. His offenses have always been crafted around mobile quarterbacks and building a ridiculous run game to maximize their skills as well as the backfield. So he's all about, similar to Kellen Moore, using a wide variety of formations, a lot of different motions, and in particular, when you read about him, he's kind of a mad scientist when it comes to run blocking, whereas one team might, the Shanahan, very into zone blocking, or another team might be all about power blocking and man blocking and gaps. This guy loves to marry just a ton of different concepts. He'll pull on jet sweeps and do all these just ridiculous type of schemes and concepts, and you can never really know what the running game is going to do. It asks a lot of the blockers, it asks a lot of the running back, but when they have the talent at both of those, it can be one of the most deadly things out there. And it's as run heavy as they come. He's never been below the top 8 in attempts or rushing yardage in the league in his 5 years calling plays, and conversely, he's never been anything higher than the bottom 4 in terms of passing attempts. So it's going to be a run-focused, run-centric attack, and it's going to be one of the best run games in the NFL this year. So what does that mean? Well, of course, Mark Ingram, the new workhorse there, is going to be set for his highest volume yet. He's been kind of trapped in a committee for his entire 8-year career in New Orleans. That's the Sean Payton way. And he's only topped 200 touches in 4 of his 8 seasons. He's never had more than 230 carries. All of those are going to be set to spike because this guy is a great downhill runner, a great receiver, can kind of fit into any blocking scheme, has nice patience and vision when you want to do the zone runs, reads the poles and whatnot really well. A versatile runner, especially because of his downhill bruising style, that's going to fit what he wants to do, Greg Roman, quite well. You talk about who does Mark Ingram get compared to a lot as a runner, and that's prime Frank Gore, because they're both such a downhill, just steamrolling runners. And Gore had some great success, never was below the RB20 in Greg Roman's scheme, always topped at least 280 touches, and always topped 1,200 or more yards from scrimmage. So Ingram's definitely in line for about 280 to 300 touches, I would say, which will be by far the highest in his career. He's been hyper efficient these last few years. He's among the league's leader in terms of yards per carry over these last 4 years. Only Todd Gurley's been better. He's been dominant in terms of the what he does with the work he gets. That will probably drop a little bit because the volume's going to increase, but that volume is going to be so valuable in such a run-heavy scheme. I would just caution, Roman hasn't had a tremendously pass happy to the running back style. You'd think in a dink and dunk style offense. The backs haven't been overly active. McCoy had like a 42 reception pace a couple seasons ago, and that was the highest pace we've ever seen. He used Carlos Williams as a goal line hammer once, so maybe Gus Bus becomes a vulture. That could be a concern. But overall, Ingram's so good as a receiver and so good at the stripe. I'm hoping he kind of just strangleholds a 3 down, every down. We talked about bell cow role inside this offense. I'm thinking 1,400-ish total yards, 10-ish TDs. He's going as the RB23 in 4th round. This offense is absolutely perfect for him. Other than that, it's kind of disgusting for the rest of fantasy. So as you mentioned, jeans are great. The legs, the running game, beautiful here. I think Ingram's going to do a great job. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be used great as a runner as well. But other than that, I don't see a ton of upside. A lot of people, Greg Roman, he had mobile quarterbacks, and he's going to get the best out of Lamar Jackson. Well, none of Colin Kaepernick or Tyrod Taylor, in all of their seasons, only once did any of them finish above the QB 16. That was Kaepernick in the ceiling when he had that massive season and everybody's the next big thing. He was only the QB 11. So it's creative and he's going to run a lot. But when you just completely remove this source of points, the passing game, especially in today's NFL where there's so many inflated 400-yard, 3 TD passers and all that, when you remove that point source and he becomes pretty much only a runner, and Jackson's arm is so shitty that I don't know if he can do all that much more anyways, that really just cuts off such a necessary for your quarterback fantasy-wise point source that, to me, I'm not going in on Lamar Jackson. I'd much rather have Josh Allen, who can do all the running stuff, Dak Prescott, who can do all the running stuff, obviously Kyler Murray, who's in my top 8 quarterbacks, and can do all the running stuff, but also make the throws. This offense isn't going to give you the aerial volume, and I don't think Jackson could even handle the aerial volume to really justify making him this QB sleeper that a lot of people, he's up to like QB 15 or so in drafts. He's like my QB 20. I'm not touching him. There's a lot of other guys I'd much rather have. So great for Ingram and Jackson as a runner, and in real life, I think it's the perfect offense for him. But fantasy-wise, I'm kind of avoiding Jackson now.